Welcome back to MSX Factorio MSX Gigabase, where I've just turned on Smelter 5, which is why we are now at basically 250,000 iron per minute. Take that off and we are basically running at 6060. We're under 16.6, so we can claim that. So yes, it is up and running. The other stuff we're producing isn't all that much. Copper had been a bit higher, but for the science off, it's all starting to dwindle again. We are doing the odd launch, but obviously oil, rocket fuel is a problem. So we are going to work on rocket fuel this episode. To that end, we are scurrying off to the Make Everything. I'm not exactly sure what I need, but I think I am probably going to need some more chem plants. Let's just get sort of 50. Actually, let's make a custom loadout for this stuff. Yeah. Turn that off. Right, so if we copied that across, we would have a bunch of oil-like things. We're not going to need those. We're not going to need those. Track. I might need some track, but I'm not going to need that much. What I will need is some chem plants. Let's get, say, 100 just in case. I am going to need some beacons, probably. Let's get, say, 400, in which case we may as well get 800 of those, and 300 of those guys. We probably have enough pipes there. That will do. Off you go. Bring me all that stuff, and then we'll meet down at the design test, the oil design test, where I have already parked the landfill train, because we're going to modify this one for our version 2. Obviously we're not looking to replace the existing oil. The existing oil is our heavy plastic build. This is going to be our heavy rocket fuel build. So we'll have two different builds, two different modules if you will. Whoops, where am I? There, right. How are we going? Yep, we should be full soon. Wonder if this will kick off any sort of beacon kind of action. Sorry, module action is really what I was concerned about. No, I don't think it will. Just one thing, I haven't yet actually put the trains over into the smelter stack 5, so it's probably going to slow down, and probably already is slowing down. Yeah, I mean this one is not doing anything. Why is that? Did it somehow get missed? No, these ones are ordering copper plates instead of iron plates. So that's probably why that one stopped. So there's probably a couple of issues in here that need to be fixed up still, but I'll do them between episodes. We don't need to hold up sorting out our oil for that purpose. Right, let's go to design test and get right into it. Design test, there you go. Off we go. So the idea with this obviously is that it's going to emphasize rocket fuel. So our 5 oil stacks that we have already over in this corner, they emphasize plastic and only do about 1/3 of the rocket fuel that we need. So hence this is crawling up not very fast, and our outstanding requests are all to do with fuel. Well, the silo fuel is not getting supplied, so Space Sciences are behind where they want to be. and that's the reason we're not actually doing any research. Although I might do a little bit of research while we do this. I would kind of like to get some artillery shell range. What sort of range? It's only a 30%, but that's probably still quite nice. I don't know how many of these you can do. It says 1 to infinity. Maybe, surely you can't just keep on going further and further and further with these guys, but never mind. 8,000, which is 4 times the usual cost, of course. Won't take us very long, so let's just do that. What's that done? Updates, in theory, are still fine, though that's telling a different story, but I do have, well, once you take the map view off and so on, it's 60/60, so that's fine. And as you can see, 8,000 is not terribly much. Is that in our bonus lists, artillery shells? Have they left it off? Because I don't actually see the artillery bonus here. I might just be blind, of course. Oh, there we go. No, that's train braking force. No. It does not appear to be there. Alright, never mind. Right. Let's just see, how are we going? We can't fit in there unless we move this train. Let's move this train then. The landfill train. For the time being, I have done enough. Oh, there you go. That was 8,000. For the time being, I've done enough landfill and enough laying down of solar panels, so we'll see how well we go. We have a total of 851,000, which is pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's probably good enough for now. So, I left those requests open. There we go. 501 satellites have been launched. Why don't we might as well do another level of the artillery shell range. It's another 30%. All this does double, so that's interesting. 16,000. Why am I clicking on that? 16,000 doesn't take terribly long. So there we go. There is a limit to the number of these that I can do, though, because we have a limited number of space science. It's all lined up here trying to refill, so it's only really what's here, and that's 24,000 kind of spare. And it's always fun watching them do this sort of dance as each of the pack cycles. But yeah, 24,000 up there. We've actually got 60,000 there, so we're probably okay in these other ones, but only 24,000, so that would sort of suggest a 96,000 more science, and we would be hosed unless we get another one of these trains. Is it going to 4 next? Yes, it is, so I guess that's fine. Anyway, that's not the purpose of today. The purpose of today is to realize that this design is not what we want. What we want is oh, this is in a slightly different spot, which is interesting. So I basically don't want lube at all. Maybe the simplest thing to do is just, well, we're going to adjust this, so it doesn't really matter what is going on here. No lube. And this model is the model prior to our subsequent revisions. We are going to end up dumping 24 times, well, basically 300,000 lube, because this won't be part of it. Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that, having had lube shortages. Oh good, that one's finished. Well, alright, shall we do 3? Yeah, let's just do 3. That should be fine. Do we move this lot over And certainly we should probably, at the very least, do something like this. Where do you get to? You can actually get to there. So that saves a few segments of pipe. We know we don't need this construct, because this is fine as long as what's that? That is something. I don't know what that is. It's not necessary anyway. Oh, you don't have power anymore. That's why these guys are flashing, because we removed this fellow. So that fixes that up. You're not necessary. Maybe I'll use bots to fix that. Go away. Okay, so this whole construct here is not necessary. That was just because of our various testing and revisions that we did at the time, and it wasn't the final design that we ran with and that also was unnecessary, wasn't it? Oh, I'm out of steel. I was wondering why things were taking so long. Let's just make a few more. Never know when you need them, like right now, for example. It's a bit better. This isn't bad. Artillery shell range 3. We're doing only 14.8. We have the 6s on our consumption on all these things. We're not actually doing purple, it looks like. This is at 152. That one's hardly any, but that's alright. 60-60, 6,000 science. Still not sustainable. Now, so heavy we do crack to light. Once we get it to light, we aren't going to be cracking it under any circumstances. And I think what I need is 44 of these things. Let me do some calculations, because you know how much I like calculations. I think we have 20 of these things. And they cycle every 5 seconds. So it's basically 20 times 12 times 1.3 for the productivity, times 5.55 for the speed. That gets you the number of cycles it does a minute, and the number of products produced is 45. So times 45, and that's basically 78,000 light per minute, 77,922 to be precise. Now, heavy, on the other hand, divide by 45 and multiplied by 10 gives you about 17,316 heavy. These machines here take 40 heavy and give you 30 light. Presumably they'll take all the heavy. Hang on. Oh yeah, so there's a slightly different multiplier in effect here. which is interesting because they've got the same number of oh no, there's a different number of effect sources because this is wider. I might just do one more artillery range. What is it, 64,000? Because I want to use the artillery a bit, so we will have added 4 lots of 30%, 120, well, we've more than doubled the range of the things, which I think is necessary. They're a little bit short. Anyway, not to worry. So, 17,316, it's basically divided by 4/3, but then times 1.3. Divided by 4, multiplied by 3, multiplied by 1.3, we don't need, whoops, 1.3. Which gives you another 16,883 plus 77,922. It was 94,800. So we have 94,800 light coming out. How much do these guys use? They use 10 light oil every 3 seconds. Now why do we have a different speed on this one? Oh, there should be... this guy is missing a beacon. Well, let's use this guy. We'll sort that out. Let's use this guy. He has 5.6875, so if we're using 10 and we're doing it every 3 seconds, so we divide by 10 and we divide by 20 and we divide by 5.6875. Each one of these machines basically can consume, well, we need 84 of these machines to consume all of the light, 83.3. So we need 84 machines to consume all of the light. I think we need 88 of these machines to consume all that gets produced by these with this one's higher speed. And that is worth working out. So let's multiply this by 1.3 and then divide by 5.6875 and then no, that didn't quite work out. Multiply by 5.6875. Okay, so we divide by 6.75 for the faster speed of these machines and then multiply by 5.6875 to bring it back, and that's actually 91 machines. We're just over 91, so I think we need like 91 of these pairs. So what will happen is the first 83 would be enough, or the first 84 of these would be enough, but since they're direct inserting, they're going to choke and it will flow on to fill 92 of them. So obviously one row is not going to work, and all of this stuff here, that is the light to petroleum, is not what we are doing anymore. So let's rip it all out. And we are getting too much of something in here. we won't be doing this one at all either. Excuse me. But I need to find somewhere to put all this stuff before the bots have a hernia. So what I might do is just renew this pattern. I shouldn't need that. So let's just grab the inside bit up to about there. We'll find out how many of these we can shove along here. That one, it would seem, is probably the last one. But we need to remove some more stuff in order to let it fit. Oh, still some stuff here. Come on. When I tell you to go away, I actually do mean for you to literally go away. Okay. We obviously need some beacons at the end, but that's not a bad start. So, how many is this? Let's just count the one row of assembly machines. 31. So we'd basically need 3 rows of that to get our required outcome. I guess I would prefer having it a little bit tighter than that. Let's move this train out of here. So I guess my option is either to see how much longer I can push this. Because after all of this part won't be here. Okay, don't insert sulfur, we don't need sulfur. Which means we're not going to need iron in here either, guys. So how about you take your iron and you just take it. I'll take those though. Right. Oh, no, we're not good. Okay. Useful things can go in the box. Rubbish can go in here. How did iron plates end up in there? Can't see them. And that has been finished. Very good. I might just leave it there for now in terms of the tech. trade you some stuff that I don't need at the moment for whatever you are. Right. Oh, come on. What's this carry on? I don't need your iron plates, seriously. Oh dear. Alright, so yeah, so the options are we extend this further, but if we have to get to 92, that would be 46 and we were 31, so maybe just going 3 rows is the best bet, in which case I think I will make a copy of this thing. I will put something slightly more meaningful on there, like a train stop and a rocket fuel, because that's what it is. Now let's remove this thing. Let's try and remove this thing. Oh, it's because of all the rocket fuel I'm picking up. That still doesn't want to go. Alright. Let you go on there then. How much more is there? A bit. This is why I like draining the products first, like I'm doing with the red circuits and the blue circuits. Good. All gone. So, we need landfill. There's just too much junk to actually be able to do anything useful there. Let's come up to the landfill train. We will place all of this extraterraneous stuff in here. It doesn't really matter if we overshoot a little bit in terms of how much landfill we put down, because we don't need landfill for carefully marking out water. All the water is just this one segment, but we want to lay down basically this 3 more times, but we are going to need pipes at the back, aren't we? Yes, yes we are. Oh, we didn't go quite far enough with those guys. We needed to include their boxes. Never mind. So, if that is what we are trying to do, we need basically from there to there twice more. That's quite a lot of landfill. Okay. Let us grab all of this then. One. No reason we can't share those top ones. 2. 3. Now the only problem is, can I get, I don't have any on me, can I get the range to pick up these? I have my doubts. Let's run up here and grab a few roboports and have a look. Now you guys can go in there. Roboports. So, if we had a range, if we had roboports here, whoops, there, it's pretty obvious it can reach 2 back, but it can't reach 3 back. Okay. Oh, let's just get a red thingamy-bob. So instead of that, and of course I leave a bit behind. So instead of that, if we instead have this, and we try to center it, there, we need this slightly wider. Let's go back and get some more landfill then. That should do. Okay, so we have that, and then this will have to be reversed for bot travel efficiency. But something like that. And obviously I'll have to fix up this little error. So we need you to come up to here. And there, let's go back, get my other stuff. We don't need that lot anymore. Don't need that, because we have plenty of them. Probably too many of them. Right, let us finish off this bit here. And up here as well. Let's just tidy up anything that we need to down at this end, which for one thing would be all these boxes. What's that? What's that? How did that go? That was perfect. That's a surprise. I didn't expect that to be perfect. Okay. So, we don't need these bits. Since we're only getting it from one side. And down here as well we have the same issue. There's no extra flow through here, so that's the basic idea of, oh, well, let's connect this up so we get the full basic idea. We don't have any, oh yes we do. So the train comes in here just as before. We extend the network obviously so it reaches the full length. It does reach far enough to cover these boxes. Thanks autosave. It reaches far enough to cover these boxes, but we will need a few more of these guys. We have to get rid of some as well. We don't want this guy, obviously. And we don't want any of this. These just need coal, so over here we do not want this iron stop altogether. That's all you are, isn't it? Iron, yep, we don't want you. Let's just do it this way. I think it can be a bit sensitive about things at the moment if you rip it out in a manner it doesn't like. I don't want to pick up the actual iron just yet, but we can certainly pick up the inserters, the boxes of iron that is. There's 40,000 iron sitting around there, so yeah, I don't just want to end up with that on me. So we still need the plastic infrastructure, because this will still provide plastic. It's the only way to get rid of the petroleum. But this is certainly a simpler system than the other one, as we'll only have 2 products coming out of it instead of 4. And this still orders the same amount. Let's put these guys back in, or in. In fact, just one off to the side is maybe plenty, because the volume of product that they carry isn't actually that large. I sort of don't like the idea of it, so I'll add another one in. There. Okay, that's just silly. You can come over to here, and just use one of these for that. In fact, that's what we could use here too, isn't it? There we go. Need to make sure these guys are hooked up. Because that doesn't reach back, so I think that one does, but it's a problem. That does it. So is this powered now? Yes, it's powered. I think, guys, there might be a little bit of tidy up somewhere here. For example, there's no petroleum coming from up here. We don't have this three-way. We don't need this extra water. We don't need that. We probably don't need that. So, you've just got 2 rows coming through. Why don't I consolidate you to just the 2 rows? Instead of having these 3 rows trying to do stuff. That would certainly work a bit better. You can be pipes and underground pipes. And we need to start from about here. Right. We'll work out what we need to do for power later. Should have just let it take those the first time. Where do you go? Nowhere. Okay. You don't do it any longer. You go no. Actually, you do go somewhere. And what I might just do is let them connect here. So if for some reason one end does not, I don't need any of those power poles. Let's not use them if we don't need them. No power over here. Okay. That is everything powered up. We don't need the lube. We don't need this entranceway the way it is, but otherwise, okay guys, I think that's it. Ugh. All this makes it kind of fat, but it saves bots putting stuff in barrels and carting them about. Whether that actually works more efficiently, I'm not sure. I'm thinking that one of these is good enough for 1/3 of our total rocket fuel need, so we just need 2 of these. Let's take a copy of it. Maybe I'll go back this far. And this is our rocket fuel oil. Alright, I think we'll leave it there, guys. Thanks for joining me. Next episode we'll deploy this. See you then. Can't wait. Bye bye for now.